I had the lowest refund rate. And the reason why is because number one, of course, I knew how to set up expectation. But number two is because I care about people. Like I really care about them. It was not a strategy. It's, dude, I've been in the freaking kitchen. I know. You know what I mean? So it's an intention thing. There's no trick with the words or anything that you can say. What I'm trying to show you here is your intentions need to be healthy. If you truly inside of your being, you don't care and you're just, I'm just taking a bunch of triagers here to book as many people as possible, it's already game over. Okay. And I'm not saying that you don't care. I know all of you do. And I know all of you are super committed and you're super in alignment with your vision and your goals because I see what you do. I'm not saying that you don't care. That's also important. That being said, I understand that a lot of times the void, we get sucked in this void of the day-to-day, and we run at the risk of just, taking meetings on autopilot, because I've been there. We're humans, and sometimes it's, you're just so caught up in the day-to-day that it's very easy to forget a lot of your values and a lot of your standards if you don't have a constant daily checking. That's why in the end of the report, we always have this question: did I do everything in my power today? Did I perform at the best level today? Scale of 1 to 10, or there's something that I would do different, to remind you if you show it up the best way possible. Okay, let's just see an example. Again, this is a call from Who's is a freaking legend. He's crushing it. But again, we can always get better, and obviously we're doing okay, but we want to do legendary. Okay, so this is just a good example for us to just learn and to get better. By the way, kudos to Who's, because every single piece of feedback that I give to him, he always take it super well, super positive, and he's ready to implement it. And he actually implements it. Bro, good job. You're doing amazing. Okay. I want you to see, this is going to be a class on psychology, essentially, because I want you to see her demeanor at the beginning of the call and how her demeanor changes throughout the conversation.
You want to be like online working, right? Okay.
Right.
And why is that? Why do you need like a better income? What's wrong with your income?
I'm not making enough to to pay everything that I need to pay.
So you feel like you need to scale it up just, for the bills and stuff, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And what do you do as a freelancer?
So here you're assuming. Don't assume. Just, why is that? Oh, yeah, because of the bills and stuff, right? You don't want to assume. So it's just, how do you mean you're not making enough? Oh, and then they will tell you what are their reasons.
I work on Fiverr.com. I review, edit, and write resumes and cover letters for people.
Yeah. Okay. On Fiverr. Mm-hmm. And do you enjoy that?
I do. Yeah. Yeah, it's not so bad. I work with people all over the world, and it's kind of fun.
I understand. Yeah. So the main reason, like the only reason, would be for the pay, right?
And the ability to work from home or work from anywhere.
Yeah, of course. You want to keep that. But...
So here again, I'm teaching you. I'm helping you guys develop more emotional intelligence. Okay. So what would you say? Help me with my English. What is the opposite of having emotional intelligence? What is the opposite?
Reason would be
it's not you don't care, right? This has to be a word. So in Spanish, there's one word that is desconsiderado, but I don't know if that applies here.
Inconsiderate would be that's the direct.
Yeah, something like that. So it's important for us to have the good word and the opposite word, so that we can learn better. So when you deploy emotional intelligence, what you're doing is you're making them feel heard, listened, and understood and appreciated, and that it creates a sense of connection. Okay, but there is like different ways to deploy emotional intelligence, for example, and there's good ways and bad ways. For example, someone says, what do you do for a living? Person goes, I work in a grocery store I work on Amazon, for example. Okay, I work in Amazon. oh, really? And how long have you been working in Amazon? 3 years. And then the person goes and says, I work in Amazon. Well, I work in Amazon too. And I've been 3 years working in Amazon. Okay. So that person, let's say, is trying to do that, is trying to mirror, is trying to say something to create a sense of commonalities and create some sort of connection. Okay. But that way is not the right way because you're not making the person feel understood and appreciated. You're just saying, well, we have things in common. That's it. Right. But if someone says, man, I've been 2 years working in Amazon, and man, it starts to feel like a trap. And then I go and I say, like a trap, how do you mean? Yeah, you know, it's clocking in, clocking out all day. The day constantly seems the days are the same. It's almost like a broken record. It's like that monotony of doing the exact same. And then I go and I say, yeah, I think I can understand where you're coming from. It's almost like, you know, you started with all of this energy, and it was like life in full color, and slowly but surely started to turn black and white. 100%, dude. Blah 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 blah. Right. So I'm saying something in a way that is better articulated than how the person is trying to articulate it, that makes the person feel, oh, this guy understands me. Right? That's one way to deploy emotional intelligence, which is when you're able to articulate a pain better than themselves. Right? But don't do it at the beginning, because if you do it at the beginning without the evidence and enough proof from them, you might just miss it. Right? So that's why you want to go, oh, how do you mean? Tell me more about that. And they go, oh, I think I know what you're referring to. And then you just go with your articulation, whatever you want to share, right? Another way is just they're sharing a pain, they're sharing something, and then you just say, oh, wow, I hear you. It sounds like you're going through a lot. And that's it. And then they're going to say, wow, this person took the time to listen to me, and now is saying something that I believe is true, which is I'm going through a lot. You see the difference between, oh, I also work in Amazon 3 years. Yeah, but I don't feel understood. You know what I mean? So let's just go back to this example. Look.
So the main reason.
And again, this is just advanced stuff, okay? This is not, oh, you're making a huge mistake. This is just that 1% is going to make this is the 20% that's going to provide 80% of the results.
The only reason would be for the pay, right?
I do. Yeah. Yeah, it's not so bad.
So so when someone said, when we go, do you like what you do? And someone says, I do. What do we do? What is the next thing we have to do? Whose? Buy the book. What goes? Buy the book.
Oh, yeah. I would say, so it seems like everything is going pretty well. Like
no. What do you like about it?
Oh, in that sense. Okay. Yeah.
Do you like what you do? What do you like what you do for a living? Yes, I do. Okay. So, okay, cool. So what do you like about it?
In that sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes or no?
Yeah. Correct.
And now, but she expanded. Okay. So you didn't ask, but she expanded.
I work with people all over the world, and it's kind of fun.
I mean, I understand.
I work with people all over the world. It's kind of fun. And who goes and says, yeah, I understand. That's not what he says. That's what he says. Oh yeah, I understand. And then next question, right? So there's like no, you missed an opportunity to create a connection, or you could say, oh, cool. What do you like about it? Or what's the best part about it? Oh, okay, cool. Why do you like that? Oh, because I like connecting with people, and I like meeting people from other cultures. Oh, okay, I can see that. I also like travel. I'm using I also blah 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 blah, but you wouldn't need to. Just an example. Yeah, I can see that. One of the reasons why I like to travel is because so I can just I can just know about other foods from other cultures, so I can appreciate that. That's better because I'm creating some sense of connection, or but again, you don't have to mirror with your story. You can say, oh, okay, so meeting people from different parts of the world, different parts of the world, and blah blah blah. is something that is important to you. Yeah, it is. Who is that? Would you consider yourself an extrovert? Yeah, I think it's because of that. Okay, cool. I can see that. No, that makes a little sense. A little bit better. Yeah. You don't have to have you don't have to drag the triage so much, but I think we all can agree that saying I understand and then continue with the next question, it's just like lacking that wanting to connect, like truly wanting to that. And I understand who's, again, this is just this 1%. But this is this is very easy to just get caught up in the day-to-day and just triage after triage after triage after triage, and then we just start to become desensitized to people. And then all of a sudden you don't even notice and you just sound like a jerk. You know what I mean? But it's not because you're a jerk, it's because you're just tired, that's it.
So the main reason, the only reason would be for the pay, right?
Now we're assuming again. So the only reason will be for the pay, right? So instead, you could be more efficient and say, okay, so is the pay the main thing, or is there anything else? It's more open-ended. You give them opportunities to give you more things.
I mean, and the ability to work from home or work from anywhere.
Yeah, of course. You want to keep that, but then okay.
Right. Yeah, I don't really want to return to an office, and I like.
Why is that though?
Being able to create my own schedule.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it is a perk, right? It's something that not everyone can have in that sense, like a 9 to 5. So I can understand why you would like to keep that in that sense. And Emily, when you're looking to work from home, there's so many things you can do, right? I understand that not everything has the same income potential as something like this, but there are a lot of options out there.
Okay, now I'm going to skip so you can see a little bit of the switch. Before skipping, one of the things that I want to say, and I already covered this with who's in the DMs, but if you are late for a meeting or you make some sort of mistake or something that is on you, the best thing you can always do to provide a good experience for the individual, this is like customer support 101, okay, is you apologize, always apologize, take full ownership of the mistake, never give a freaking excuse, because if you apologize and then you say, but I have a lot of meetings today, then you're canceling the freaking apology. You say, oh, I apologize, but I'm super busy today. It's that equals to you not apologizing. So never say, oh, I apologize, but excuse, right? So I apologize and just own it really hard. Hey, I'm late. I do apologize for being late. This is not how I normally operate, and you don't deserve that. So that's on me, and I'm going to make sure that this doesn't happen again. All right? That's the first step. You apologize. Strong. You own it. It's myself. I take full responsibility for it. You can say that. Hey, because you're going to have some alpha personalities that they're just going to call you out on that. What do you do then? So then you just not proudly, but you just, take it. Hey, I was late. You're 100% right. That's 100% of me. I take full responsibility of it. This is not how I normally operate, but this time I dropped the ball, and you're 100% right. So I apologize. And then one of the things that I always like to do, and I invite you to do that as well, is to ask them for an apology. Is to ask them. A lot of people assume that we're going to be forgiven. You just have to ask. How do you say that in English? Do I have your apology? No.
Do you accept my apology?
Well, that's too formal,
kind
right?
of. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, can you say, do you apologize me? No, that's not how you say that, right? No.
Do you forgive me?
Exactly. That's the one. So do you forgive me? And serious, just like this. Look at my camera, right? I'm sorry. It's on me. I'll make sure this doesn't happen again. Do you forgive me? Like, I'm asking for forgiveness.
Or you can say, forgive me for being late. I'm sorry. I don't usually operate like this. And then they'll usually say.
But then you're not giving them the power of verbally give you the forgiveness. Right. Forgive me for being late. I'm assuming you're gonna forgive me. Do you know what I mean? So it's no. You just look at the camera and say, hey, do I have your forgiveness, or do you forgive me? It's important to me that you forgive me. Yes, I do. No worries. Okay. And then, so you ask for forgiveness, and then you end up in a good note. Thank you for your patience, or I appreciate you being patient and taking the time, and taking the time to go through blah 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 blah, whatever that might be, right? And then boom, you continue, and that's how you just own it, close it, end it in a good note, and move on. Okay, really quick, I wanted to share that with you guys.
Like trading or copywriting.
Because like really quick, when you just go and someone is angry and someone is looking for someone to blame, you go, hey, blame me, it was me. 100%, you're 100% right. You should be feeling that way. There is that, like, totally justify, makes all the sense because I made the mistake. It was my fault, and I just I made a mistake. It wasn't me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that I'm learn from this mistake so this never happens again, and no one needs to suffer these consequences. Do you forgive me? It's just boom. And what do you think the person is gonna say when you show up that way? It's no, I don't forgive you. It's no, he or she is gonna go, yeah, no worries, it's okay, it's fine, it's not that big of a deal, it's okay. Well, it's important to me that I am, that the thing, this is a value of me, so because it is important, I give it the gravity that it deserves, and I just want to make sure that you don't have this, I don't know, this bad taste of me, or this first expectation of me, because I know this is not how I operate. Okay, no worries, all good. I appreciate you, and thank you for being patient. Let's just get right into it. Let's make sure that I can provide you with as much value as possible. So first of all, and then you just continue whatever it would be, which what I cover with Whos is, hey, if you are late, consider rescheduling. Don't rush the meeting. Right? Just consider rescheduling. It's okay. Just hard stop. Consider rescheduling, or dial them later, or when you have a no-show. So that way, the next one and the next triage, you can start on time and everything resets, so to say. And otherwise you're going to be constantly rushing one triage after the other triage, right? Okay, cool. So really quick,
go to set my own hours.
Set aside in terms of financially, if you want to move forward with.
What does it depend on?
How much time you have. Really depends.
Did watch those videos, and I did go through the FAQs, but it didn't really say how much training was.
You see, so now you see her face compared to the beginning, and it's almost like she's about to cry. I'm not saying that she's about to cry, but there's a couple of things that happens here that I've already covered with Whos, and because I don't have enough time, we cannot just go through all of it. The way the financial qualifier was asked, the way the DQ was done as well, is very important. Because if you DQ people, disqualify people, like, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send you some information. Let's just stay in touch. It's just like people can see that. You know what I mean? So even even if you're running out of time, because for example, this is what happened here. Whos was running out of time. He was late for another triage, and you can see in Whos demeanor how he was multitasking, trying to get out of this call really quick, wanting to give long answers because he was already late for the next triage. And he was like, yep, I will just answer you via email, send us via email, just book a call. It was like, and that just provides a bad experience. And then this person, what happened is this person shared the message in the inbox, like sort of like complaining, which again, this is good. And the reason why I'm showing this is for everybody to learn, because Whos is doing really, really, really good. This is just kind of like the things that are going to get us to the next level. Whos didn't do anything astronomically wrong here. You know what I mean? It was just that this person was a little bit, everybody's different. So this person created a ton of expectations in their mind about this call, and she prepared questions and everything, and she didn't feel that she got the same on the other side, the same level of attention, the same level of investment, the same level of intention. It's just that. So we need to be able to see that as communicators. Oh, wow, this person is super fired up to be on this call, has questions prepared, really wanted to but I'm running out. So at least, hey, Emily, I really, really appreciate the effort that you took to write your questions, to prep for this call. And actually you were earlier than me. And what I want to do is I want to value that. And I want to give you the exact same or even more, because that's what you deserve. And because right now I have another meeting, I don't want to rush things with you. I actually want to take the time to be fully present and be able to answer all your questions. And if I rush this conversation, I would do a disservice to you. How about I call you later on today, and instead of 10 minutes, we can do 20 if you need, because I really want to take the time to answer all your questions, give you all the clarity. What time works for you? You see, it's just, hey, I understand, I appreciate, I see your intention and how invested you are, and I want to do the same. I want to meet you there. It's just that right now I don't have the time. But that doesn't mean that I want to do that. And now I'm offering an alternative, because I don't want to rush things. I don't want to do a disservice to you, because I appreciate you. And I'm willing to just give you a call later on, or as soon as I have a cancellation, or maybe tomorrow, first thing in the morning, because I really want to be present and answer all your questions. You see, it's just like you're demonstrating that you care. Yeah. So again, because of the day-to-day, we get just sort of like sucked into the day-to-day, and we forgot a lot of the fundamentals. And a lot of the things that I'm going to be doing here for you guys is just remind you of the fundamentals, basically, because those are the things that makes that 20% that creates the 80% of the result. So going back again at the CBA methodology, the way we ask the vehicle positioning, some of you are starting to modify that question and start to become, it is becoming more assumptive and less smooth, because some of you are just saying, why appointment setting? And that's not the way I teach you. I teach how to ask vehicle positioning. It's just not how I teach it, right? So it's just so I can understand the rationale, just so I can see the reasoning behind it, just so I can see what's important to you, just so I can see how the dots are connected. What's the main reason behind considering appointment setting instead of blah, 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 blah? That's the question. And it's not, okay, why appointment setting? It's not that way, okay? So just a reminder, very important, okay? And this is advanced skills. Like, I'm not expecting you to do this. This is, if you want to go to the next level, listen up. If you ask vehicle positioning and someone doesn't have answers, and you just try and someone that doesn't have answers, just label it. Just label some answers for them so that you can help them find an answer. You know, normally people have multiple reasons behind why they might be looking to get into appointment setting in the first place. But the most common one, Melissa, are two. The most common ones are two. One is they're wanting to get into the online space, but specifically in a trajectory that has to or involves psychology of communication and social media. And the second one is they're looking for an entry-level online entrepreneurial venture to develop high-income skills in today's day and age, current demand, as a stepping stone for something greater. Which one do you feel resonates the most with you? And that's how you start creating new arguments, and you think, oh, and why is that? You know, oh, I think because I like communication and social media, I want to start a trajectory in that direction. Cool. Why is that? Why in particular do you like that? Da, 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 da. Got it. Okay, now I understand, Melissa, why you might be looking at appointment setting and not another thing like coding or whatever, since this is all about communication and is you sort of like diving into those skills and tapping into that potential as a communicator. I can understand that. Thank you for sharing. Boom. Next. They don't have a North Star. They don't have a solid North Star. You're asking for relevancy. There's no relevancy. Well, that makes me really curious, John, because normally when people take the time out of their day to have a proper conversation like this, there must be something, you know, and otherwise people wouldn't be just randomly hopping on meetings this way. What I can do is I can kind of like give you a little bit of context so you understand what are the most common things that I help people with, that I see in these calls. Normally people wanting to make a career change, they do that for a variety of reasons, particularly when it comes to appointment setting. The first one being they're not really fulfilled with where they're at right now in their current workspace or in their life in general. And the second one is they know they have so much potential, but they feel trapped in a job where they cannot continue to grow personally and professionally. So I guess, which one is for you? This is the 1% of top sales closers that they go to such a level where even if they don't have the answers, they engineer the answers. They help the prospect come up with the answers, and they turn water into wine. And again, I'm not expecting you to do that, but this has been a training so that you can see there's so much potential you can get into. There's so much you can generate if you become a better communicator and if you come from the right place. You're doing great. Sorry, you're doing good, but you can be doing great. You can be doing way more. And it's all about who you are and how you show up on these calls. Because again, everybody that you are speaking with, triagers and closers, and they don't buy from you for whatever reason, I promise you 2, 3, 4, 5 months from now, they're going to buy something that is priced 2, 3, 4K. They're going to do it. And the reason why they will buy that from those people and not from you is because those people make them feel more certain. Is because those people offer them a different perspective, a different way to look at things so that they can get from where they are to where they want to be. And you wasn't able to do that. That's the reality. Because remember, if you knew you couldn't fail, you would do whatever it takes. Yes or no?